This is breaking down the Bible, the Hebrew Scriptures. Do you believe in the book? Do you believe in the Scriptures? Well, good. Because today's lesson is on courage. Specifically, do you possess the courage of Daniel while in the Lions Den, or DANIY'EL in Hebrew? So, are you ready to take this walk with me? And we all know there's different angles to life, especially starting out every day when you're worshiping Yah. Shalom, I'm Officer Wolfline. There are things that you're going to go through life where people are going to confederate against you. And if you're obedient and your strength in the Most High is high through your obedience, there's no reason why you should not prevail. So, before we get into today's lessons, let me give you a little preface. There are some things that I'm going to talk about today that you're going to go and research, and you're going to go look up, because you have to do that. This particular instance in today's lesson and teaching is about Daniel in the Lions Den. But a lot of you have never seen a lion. You might have seen it on TV, but have you been to a zoo? Have you been to these places that actually have these particular animals? What you're looking at is the face of Judah, which is the lion. And the Bible references lion all the time because the lion is strength. So before I move forward, I want to give you some stats on a lion, male and female, so you'll understand when one goes before a lion, what is the capability and strength of this animal. The average height and weight of a lion male is 420 pounds. Female is 280 pounds. Max speed in short bursts is up to 50 miles an hour. Can you run that fast? Now, male lions, they're usually a little bit taller than the female lions. Now, some are not usually by a lot, but the shoulder area, because you can expect that in a male because of the strength in testosterone. And they can reach out, up to 4 feet. But the heftiest ever recorded on record was around 600 pounds. And that's almost 200 pounds more than the average. But their diet at the bottom, their diet is wildebeest, hogs, zebras, birds, hares, antelope, impalas, and I mean the animal, not the car, fish, gazelles, giraffes, ostrich eggs, different types of reptiles, rodents, and buffalo. Buffalo are big, and that's why I put that on the screen for you, so you can see a 400-pound cat, lion, take down 600 pounds worth of meat. Easily, that buffalo weighs around 600 pounds or more. Those things can get up to 1,000, 1,500 pounds easy. So now that you know some stats on this beast, this lion, we can move forward a little bit. Now, here we're starting off in Daniel 6, first chapter, all the way through the third verse. And basically, I'm setting up this story so you can understand what's going on. You're going to need to go back into chapter 5 to understand where the jealousy starts in this part of the book of Daniel. And you need to understand why they confederated against him and why was he so highly favored and why they had so much trust in Daniel. And also at the end of this, I want you to find out, why King Darius became king. Okay, and I want you to put those answers in the comment sections down below this video. So let's move forward. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. Now this is King Darius, okay? And over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then you have 3. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and the princes in King Darius' kingdom. He was preferred above them because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Okay, so we're already getting into the preface of the story. Okay, so this is letting you know that Daniel was already preferred. So then we go to 6:4, and it says, then the presidents and the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel. They were looking for something to go against him on. Okay, that's what they were doing. They were trying to find fault and methods so they can plot against him. So I'll read it again. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. They were trying to find fault in his actions against the king. Dumb. All right, everything else. But they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, diligent, loyalty. This is what he had. Neither was there any error or fault found in him. So, obviously you see them together. Obviously you see that they're trying to find something against him because they don't like him, because the king favors him. Now, what can you put together in your life and in your thought process and find that when people were against you, who was for you? Have you ever been set up? Have somebody ever, the current terms and words, conspire against you to set you up for your fall? Well, that's what they're doing here. That's basically what they're doing here. They're trying to find fault. They're trying to get him. So when we go to 5, it says, then said these men, you saw them in the previous slide, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God, his Elohim, the Most High. And when I say God, if you know my teachings, I mean the Most High, Yah, Elohim. And I will say that, even if it's not in the slides, I will depict that. Okay? We don't just say God here. That's so blatant. It's just so plain. You don't know who you're talking about. But when we say this, I mean the Most High God, the living God, the creator of the universe. our Hebrew Israelite Elohim. For those of you who are new. And you can see that throughout the teachings. So, the only thing they can find against him is him serving his Elohim, his God. Now, they call that a fault. They call that against, because he's serving the living God. Let's press forward a little bit. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius live forever. So now they're coming before King Darius, trying to butter him up before they start pitching their evil to associate what they're trying to do. So let's go into 7. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains, have consulted together to establish a royal statute. Do you understand that? They're establishing an internal policy, their own internal rules, their laws, and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. See, right here, the picture should be forming that they were so wicked against Daniel that they went to go pitch this to King Darius. And they're saying the only thing that they could really find against him to pitch to this king was that he was serving the living God. So as you can see, if somebody doesn't like you, jealous of you, whatever, they're going to find something. Even though it's a lie, they're going to try to find something against you. Israelites, this is why you need to be obedient. See, in the Christian realm, you like to say prayed up. No, you need to be lawed up. You need to be obedient. And then keep your prayers. Obey and pray. That's your new thing for 2018. Obey and pray. To clean up your wicked hearts. Because that heart is wicked. I'm telling you now, the heart is very wicked. And this is it right here. There's so much filth in Daniel 6:7 that I feel dirty right now. So let's read through this thoroughly. They are before King Darius here in 6:7 in the book of Daniel. And here's what they said. I'm going to set it up again for you. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. See, your enemy will conspire against you. See, they look for information on you. They see Daniel probably every day or every other day. They already knew he was praying to the living God. So they use that against him so they could take him down for the great fall. But you need to be careful when you come against a real Hebrew Israelite, who obeys the laws. When you pray and you spell cast or you witchcraft against the anointed ones of Yah, you need to be very careful. All right, let's move on. And number 8, now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which alter not. Now, obviously, King Darius didn't see that this was against Daniel. Okay? Let's keep moving. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. So, you can see, if you read this a couple times, that they confederated against Daniel because he was favored. So, in your home, your office, your job, your work, your businesses, sometimes you have to be a careful king. You have to be a careful owner. You have to be a careful overseer. You have to be a careful leader. Because you never know when the servants are filled with wickedness to confederate against you as well, and those that you hold dear to you. So this lesson is not only just for the servants. This lesson is not just for them, it's also for the leaders as well. You can learn on both sides of, so to speak, the coin. You got to understand the word discern and discerning. Because you never know when it's your turn to be tested. And you will be tested and to prove all things. So now here in 6:10-13, or 6, still in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, 10-13. It says, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. So back when this was established, you prayed to a certain direction towards the homeland. He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before his God, as he did aforetime, times before. Okay, so these wicked people knew this, because Daniel had no shame in praising the Most High. You shouldn't have any shame praising the Most High. You just need to be careful, because some don't have the ears to hear, and then some, they can confederate against you. But don't cast your pearls in front of swines and give it over to these dogs that don't deserve this. You don't do that, because you're capitulating everlasting life to an Elohim that's alive, and not on some rocks or some wood or whatever that is. You need to be smarter, more discerning of who you're talking to. But obviously Daniel was very freely in worshiping the Elohim. Now, let's move down to the next line. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Okay. So now you're going to come to know his God and what his God will do for him, and see if it is your Elohim, the God, the creator of the universe. And I put this picture here so you can see, because if it's portrayed here that he prayed at a certain time and several times a day, they knew when he was going to be praying, where he was going to be praying, so they can gather their wicked witnesses so they can bound him in a manner as such to get him in trouble, to make him fall. So I'm going to read this again to you. And I want you to accept what's before you, because the book is alive. Then these men, they assembled and found Daniel. You understand? They found Daniel praying as if they didn't know where he was, and making supplication before his God. Yeah. Let's jump down to 12. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. So they ratted him out. After they set it up for the fall, they went to go rat him out. Concerning the king's decree, right? Hast thou not signed a decree? Now they're questioning the king, right? And they want to remind him of the law he signed and the declaration, or the decree that he signed, policy and rules over his kingdom, his land. And they're reminding him that he signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the lion's den. They're asking him, they're questioning him, they're reminding him. You see how the forked-tongued serpents work to come against you? Let's move on. The king answered and said, the thing is true. Basically saying, yeah, I signed it, I remember that. According to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altered not. You don't alter it once he puts it out there. And it was not altered at the time. Now, we move down to 13. I mean, if you can't feel the wickedness in this word and what's going on here, you're disconnected. You're really disconnected. Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth thee not. He has not paid you any attention. He has ignored your words. He ignored your rules that you signed into the law. He's ignored what you said. And he says, hey, O king, nor the decree. He didn't pay any attention to your decree. He ignored that too. That thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. So now, obviously, if he's favored by the king should have known something about him at this point. Do you see why I'm hitting both sides of the coin? These are men and women who are basically the managers of his kingdom, saying that there's been a violation of his rules and laws, which they put before this king and kept Daniel out of the loop to get Daniel in trouble. This is as plainly as I can get into this story without getting technical or speaking in another tongue, without you understanding what's going on. They basically didn't like him, so they put a plot together to set him up so they can either get him killed, so one of them can be a more favor upon the king, and to get closer so they can get their selfish ways and into more control and power. How many of you out there have set up people because you were so jealous that they had something that you wanted, but they earned it and you didn't, and you thought you were the one that was supposed to have it? Or how many leaders out there who trusted their friends, their family, the people who are under them, their servants, their handmaids, so much that they found out that they were confounded later for making decisions based upon a partial truths and not all of the truths that affected somebody who was actually innocent. Do you see both ways here? So you confide in these people to do certain things for you. And they demonstrate honesty and loyalty. But wickedness come into their heart and their minds. And some even haven't put in the time to be where they are. But because they feel it should be there. Because they feel they should be where they are right now. And it's not moving fast enough for them. So you rather kill your brother or sister, your friend, in order to get what you want. Have you checked yourself lately? Have you discerned your own spirit lately? What is really inside of you? So, let me get back to this. Now, 13 I left off, but maketh his petition 3 times a day to his God, or to the Elohim, or his Elohim. So they knew. They had him watched because they knew this was going to happen. So now they made up a law so that he could break it, so that they could have him punished, killed, or bound. Or better yet, thrown to the lions. They went straight for the extreme. Killed, because we rather have him away. That's wickedness for you. Your current law is based on Christianity. You guys got me going now. Listen, they go and make up laws so you can break their laws and their policies. That's not real law. The common law is the superior law. The Elohim's law is the superior law. Christianity is in your different versions of the King James Bible is your current law. This is why I'm giving this to you. So you can see Christianity is law. They base it off the Bible. You don't believe me? You will. Because look at the difference between a judge and a preacher. What do they wear? Do they not wear the same garb? Okay, I'm going too far right. I'm giving you too much truth. Let's keep going. But I want you to see there's so many different elements in this word that they hide it in your face and they hide it in plain sight so they can dumb you down. Now, as you can see, I put this here so you can see it for yourselves. I read it the slide before, so I can talk about it in this slide from 6:12 to 13. And it basically reads the same. These are the two scriptures that pertain to the picture at the bottom in front of you. They are throwing him under the bus. Have you ever been thrown up under the bus? You see what they're doing? They're reminding him of what he signed. They put it in front of him to convict him. Did you not sign this? Did you not validate this royal decree, O king? Whoever breaks this, should they not be thrown into the lions? Can you see it now? But a lot of times when you petition a court, they're not really a king or the judge unless you give them consent. You give them consent by walking into their courtrooms and jurisdictions. If you don't know how to turn that court in a common law court, you know, their job is to trick you, because what you call a judge in a courtroom, a bailiff in a courtroom, the prosecutor in a courtroom are all paid by the state. all three of them already against you. All of them are going to get paid off your misery in your regular court systems. And this is what they're doing. They're petitioning against you because they got to make money. They got to control the king. They're controlling the king here. Look at it. Those who know common law, they're controlling the king. Did you not write this? Did you not petition this before, as we brought this before you? So they trick you in wickedness when you go into the courtroom. So instead of going into these courts and saying, who has a claim against me? You stand up and say you're a defendant. Well, a man cannot be a defendant in any courtroom. Because what you're doing is you're offering up your body as surety so they can charge you for it. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm compelled to tell you that. So, 3 times a day, they caught Daniel praying, which is it's nothing new. They already knew it. They just had the law written. So now the king knows, and at this point he should feel betrayed. At least I would have. And that's why I put these two here, thrown up under the bus. It can go both ways. So at this point, he should definitely feel in a certain manner. Have you ever been thrown up under the bus? For something you didn't even do? Have you been the sacrificial lamb before? Think about it. And all you can do right now is hold your hands out and block and defend. Moving on, because I didn't want to make this teaching that long, but you know, sometimes when this stuff comes, it comes from the Ruach, and I have to take and push this information on you. That's a lot of information, but I can't just throw everything out there at you, because sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. Then you start running. Okay, Daniel 6:14-17. Then the king, when he heard these words, and now remember, you know, you got to remember here, he's hearing these words right here, right? And he has his hands on there, on his mouth. Okay? So, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. So, doesn't he look like he's thinking in this photo, in this picture? Look at it. Look at this picture. Look at this photo. He should feel betrayed. Now, going to finish up 14, going to 15. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Now, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established may be changed. Do you see that? They're reminding him. They're pushing the information on him because he made it, and they're reminding him of the law he made, and you cannot change it. And in 16, the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Right? And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. So he had to carry through, he had to go through with it, right? Then we move over here to 18 and 21 in the book of Daniel, chapter 6. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Fasting, people. Neither were the instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. He could not sleep a wink. I know his blood was boiling for his friend. He had to do that because he was king. Nothing could calm him down, not even the music. But he did speak some words to Daniel. I want you to go back and look that up. What words did he speak to Daniel? It was in the last slide. He was so confounded by the situation, still pushing through it, pressing forward. It says here 19, then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste into the den of lions. Right? He went to the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God. Did you hear that? The servant of the living God. Is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Was your God able to save you from my wicked law that I had to cast you down into the lions, that I was tricked by my servants? But was your God able to deliver you from those lions? That's what he wanted to know. There's a pause there because he's listening, looking. And then in 21, Daniel speaks. Daniel says unto King Darius, O king, live forever. In 22, it says, my Elohim has sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocent was found in me, and also before thee, king, O king, have I done no hurt. He's done no crime, so he's hurt no one. He's innocent. And that's what happened. So the Father, the Elohim, the creator of the universe, the Most High, sought favor to deliver Daniel. Has the Most High interrupted your life to save you from some things that you never thought were coming? Out of the blue? We like to use the term bum rushed. Now, King Darius in 23 says he was exceedingly glad for him, which is Daniel, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no matter of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his Elohim, the living God, the God. Okay, and I didn't put the Most High or Yah in here for a specific reason. because there's many gods out there, right? But what I'm trying to articulate to you is that the living God is the one that delivers his people, O Israel, house of Israel. It didn't say he was delivering Christians, Muslims, Jews, Gentiles. The word Jew, derivative of Judah, is not correct. It's Yahudim. So the ones that you call yourself black Hebrew Israelites, you're not the real Jews. You're Yahudims. So that translation is something that you're pertaining to, but yet you're not black. You have hue in you, melanated people. And that's a whole nother teaching. Trust me, that's a whole nother teaching. But these photos on here, you got to give the artist props because they do depict who they are. And especially the one where you have Daniel here in there. This is by an artist named Kalongi. So, or Kalongani. So I'm giving them props for this. Go in there and check their information out. All right, moving forward. And now King Darius will be paying a lot more attention now to what's coming before him and doing a lot more questioning and discerning before he signs rules and regulations and laws in the practice in his kingdom. That's what should have been done in the first place. But you live and you learn, but you're not trying to hurt others and trying to live long and serve the Most High. So now that he know that his friend is okay, we go into 24, where it says the king commanded, and they that brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the master. It's funny because now let's see if what you did will get you out of the current situation that you put him in. So their children were cast in there, wives were cast in, and the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. The lions had their way with them. Broken bones, bloody everywhere. Look up to the upper right hand corner there. That lion has a bloody mouth on it. So their intention for him, and he went through it, so the king put them into the same situation. After that, King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. 26, I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. Hallelujah, right? For he is the living Elohim. He's the living Elohim. And steadfast forever. Don't you move to no other God. You stay right with this one. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. And his dominion shall be even unto the end. Your end, my end. But a just and righteous Elohim, the God, is where you want to be. Because he can help you out of these wicked places and to live forever. That's not in front of you. That's just me making commentary towards you. Now 27, he delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. There you go. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Now, rightfully so, Daniel was in there. He didn't do much of anything other than, I'm assuming that he is praying to the Most High while he was in that den of lions. But as we go back, and you see he have his head bowed, and them lions like, what you want? What are you doing here? We can't eat you. You got one up there in the mantle just chilling. We can't mess with you. Do you understand the power that is? Do you not see the agility, the weight, the strength that I showed you earlier in this slide? Daniel went in there and endured. You have to endure to the end. But do you have the discernment? Do you have the courage to do so? Because everything in this life is not always going to be easy. So stop fornicating to these other gods. Yes, fornicating to these other gods. Accept them into your minds, hearts, and spirit for what? They can't do anything for you. Take those wooden crosses off around your neck. Those metal crosses, diamond crosses around your neck. That's fornicating. And go look up fornicating if you think it means sex. That's a Christian mentality. Look up what I'm saying. Believe nothing and look up and prove me wrong. Put it in the comment section below. I don't want to hear what you feel, think, and emotion. Show it to me in your book. Put it in the comment section below. Your emotions mean absolutely nothing to me. Because I have to be bold as a lion. And I can't spare not. Do you have the courage of Daniel to endure to the end? Now, I hinted this earlier in the teaching. I need you to find out how King Darius became king and why was Daniel so highly favored and regarded. I want you to leave your answers, as it says at the bottom here in black, down in the comment section below. Why? Why did they go after him? Sometimes people don't need a reason. Sometimes you just being tested. But do you have the answers or the power within to prevail? Here again, in other teachings, I have this here. Do you know who you are, Israel? Do you really know who you are? Do you know the difference between these two? The one at the top, the one at the bottom. Is it not the same garb? If you're a Muslim, Christian, doesn't matter. If you're Baptist, they got a whole line of those different types of Christians. It's all Roman Catholicism. Do you know what this is? Go look it up. I'm telling you what's before you is in your book called the Bible. This is where they're getting all your current laws to make you pay. Stop being the legal fiction and be the man. Well, this is the Officer Wolf Line. You can like us on Facebook. Go ahead and subscribe, especially there on YouTube. You can also visit the Facebook page, and then you can tweet us out. Shalom and read.